Did you save the picture?
Cool. Hold on. Let me see if I did.
Live. And we're still in practice session, so that's cool.
I got Gmail attachment.
Yeah.
So I got an attachment. Keep talking. I'm listening.
So save it, right?
How do I save it? Let's see.
Like
It says copy, replay later, desktop. I swear to you, I feel like a grandpa right now.
Oh wait, is this because you're on your iPad, Ruben?
Ruben, it'll work better if you look closer into the screen.
Wait, so when you if you click onto it, does any do any options come up, or do you have to hold it, or?
I could do like a download, and it says like copy, read later, bookmark, create QR code.
Yeah, do download. I think download is the move.
What'd you say?
But there is no download.
It is. Yeah.
Oh, I thought you said.
It's up.
Yeah,
That's us.
More.
Ruben, I also have an iPad.
Save.
Yeah.
Try going into the email or into the chat. Keep your finger on it for a second or two.
Turn the volume down. It's on the
photo.
That's not totally live.
And then when you go into backgrounds, you should be able to. You may have to delete one of your backgrounds if you're all filled up.
Yeah.
But then you should be able to, once you delete one.
How do I take a screenshot, Lou? How do I take a screenshot on this iPad? How do I do this?
Power button and circle.
There's a definite delay in the YouTubes.
Yeah, there's a delay. There's going to be like a 30-second delay.
Cool.
Yeah, it's a pretty significant delay. I started counting to see when it would catch up, and I got to like 8. It was like, no.
I ran out of numbers. That's awesome. 1,002. Okay, so Sex With Me is what it's going to be, but I think we do 3 objects basically, and then I'll roll out of Sex With Me into genres. And then that's it. And then we'll probably do a Q&A. I was hoping, I don't think I mentioned this to Ryan, so maybe it's not the time. I would love to try, if everybody here in the audience is willing, to do phrases with an audience using the chat to do it. So maybe we finish the show, present that as a possibility, pick 2 people to do it, and then the audience will just throw phrases up and, work on. Maybe myself or Gardner can say, add a new phrase to the chat now, or maybe they just continually type phrases out, and as they're going up, whoever's playing will just pick one and go.
Now, how do
people feel about that possibility?
Add a background. Chat background and filters. Add.
All right. Cool. So that's what I got.
The webinar starts at 9 o'clock. I don't know if it'll go over at that point or not.
Yeah, we'll keep an eye on it, because like I said, I did a test and I had to start it. So we'll just, play with it.
Thunder.
So at the top of the show, right before we go live, if everybody could maybe blank their screens except for Ryan or myself, we'll sort of give the intro, what's going on, and then maybe in the order of the chat, if you want to come in and introduce yourself, if people feel okay about that. I mean, we usually do that, but it's maybe not a bad idea. And then that way everybody's on screen, and then we can start, we'll get the information, start to build a room and see what happens. And the audience all knows that this is a test and it's a rehearsal. So things may go slightly off the rails. We may have to stop for a little while. That's totally
cool. Ruben.
But as much as you can, unless it's like a technical glitch or something you really don't understand, let's try to just push through like we might in a show and, figure out it's improv.
Yep.
We yes and. Speaking of, how do people feel about getting a warm up in the next 5 minutes before we open this monkey up?
Yeah, please.
Are we opening it up? Wait, we start at 9? Oh shit, we're not messing around. Fuck. All right, let's do it.
No time, Ruben. No time to mess around. So same order in the chat, I think.
I say our warm up is do our whole show in 5 minutes.
Yeah.
I see a door.
I did. Jesus Christ.
Oh, fuck you guys. I was ready to go.
The door opens. It's a closet. There's a sweater. It's an old sweater. It's my grandpa's cable knit purple sweater.
Yes, and that sweater belonged to my grandpa, who I really hated. So I despised the sweater. Sorry. We can, sorry.
Let's do a
Wait,
warm
no,
up.
keep going.
Let's do a
Want
warm
to
up.
do
Mine?
yes and? Do we want to do? Let's
let's
do yes and.
let's do a yes and real quick, and then if we have time, maybe we do something else. And then Ryan and I'll flip for who's gonna chat to the audience, and then it's go time.
Do it.
Let's do it. Hold on, who am I after? Let's go for my.
So again,
setup.
check out. We'll keep the order in the chat, or from the build a room thing.
Mhm.
So if people have that available, just look at that to refresh your memories.
Cool. Who's before me? Just someone let me know.
Frankie.
Frankie.
Frankie, gotcha. Frankie's before me. Heard.
All right, Mr. Elliott, take us away.
I went to the grocery store looking for cooked ham.
Yes. And there was such an exceptional array at Whole Foods that I couldn't make a decision.
Yes. And I never knew that there were 32 types of ham producing pigs. So I really had my hands full trying to decide which ham to eat.
Yes. So I went and asked the local butcher about which ham does he prefer.
Yes, and Rocco told me, he said, listen, I skipped lose person. That's what I did, because I can't read. He said he couldn't read, and so any ham would do.
And I said,
Uh-oh.
We're delayed, frozen.
Uh-oh.
Yes. I'll tell you what, you can take a pretty good look at a ham T-bone by sticking your head up a bull's ass or a ham's ass. Pigs. But I'd rather take the butcher's word for it. Oh, I haven't seen that line performed in a while.
Yes, and the butcher told me I should stop fucking around with pigs and go straight to veal because baby cow is delicious.
Yes, and he told me there's only one type of baby cow. It's really tender, and it's really delicious, and no one ever stuck his head up their ass.
And
Is Ian coming?
He's going to be a late game time decision if he makes it.
It's
A few
gonna be
minutes.
awesome, everybody! It's gonna be awesome!
So we're running, our internet is slowing down because I'm streaming down here. So I may just stop the stream.
I'd say
Yeah, stop it.
Yeah, totally stop the stream. It obviously works, but nobody's gonna be watching it. So
Right. I just wanted
Let's
to see
go.
if it worked.
yeah,
Stop the stream is too close to stop the steal.
stop. Oh yeah, that's true.
stop the stream.
Don't cross the streams.
That's literally what I want to say to my kids all the time.
Row, row, row your boat
Row.
gently
Up the stream.
down the stream. Oh, down the stream, up the stream.
Oh, up the stream. Sorry. Which way does I don't get that confused. I'm always like, when I think about streams, I think about the fish that go up the river, and then the bears are
Salmon.
standing there at the edge, and they like catch them in their mouth.
Yeah, bearfish. They call them
Mhm.
bearfish.
Bearfish.
They're wily. the
Thought they
bear.
called them salmon.
Ah, yes.
All right.
salmon.
So if everybody can blank your screens, bitteschön. Mr. Gardner.
Yeah, go for it, Gaff. I think you should.
Okay. Thank you.
I'll stay on for a second to say hello and see who we have. But
Okay,
Yeah, no, absolutely.
I can't turn off my screen if
I-
you're moving the mouse, bud.
yeah, I know. So I'll here.
Thank you.
And can people, Gaff, can you still hear me?
Yeah. Yep.
Okay. Blank your screen, Rue.
What's up? Yeah. Do it.
Just turn your video off, Rue.
Did I not do that? Just
No.
now?
Your video's
on.
still on. Gaff,
Stop video, got it.
I think you should be the one who does it because I'm on a delay here with how the mic is set up.
Oh, okay, yeah.
At least it looks like to me, so it's odd.
I should
Okay.
change that R to something. You guys know how to do that?
Yeah, do it to it.
All right.
No one's gonna
Hit
see
you up in the
it,
chat.
Ruben.
All right, cool.
It's gonna be awesome.
So it hasn't switched over yet.
Yeah, there's that delay.
So we'll see.
All right. I need to go to the.
So nobody's in the room yet.
I mean, maybe I fucked up. Maybe I did need to send a different.
No. I just didn't start the webinar here.
Oh, okay.
So it didn't automatically switch over at 9 o'clock.
Yeah, no, I didn't. Yeah, I didn't think that it would.
Somewhere I thought I read that. I'm going to start the webinar. All right.
Yeah, do it. Webinar is now live.
Yep. All right. Let's see who we have.
Oh.
Hmm.
Oh, wow. Good. Well, how about that? Thank you very much for attending this first practice session for the Regicides, the live show. First and foremost, we wish to not apologize because it's improv and there's no saying you're sorry in improv. However, as a disclaimer, this could get a little bumpy and there certainly might be some technical glitches, as I'm sure you're all aware of the Zoom situation. We are going to be trying to take suggestions through the chat, and that means that we are going to try to send out some of those asks in the chat that may happen during the scene before we need the suggestions for. So there's going to be a little of an ask of you all to split your focus, but stay by that keyboard, be ready to do some quick typing and send that stuff in. We may decide that that's a pain in the ass and jump out and ask for a question in a more typical way. A lot of these things are sort of to be determined. What we're hoping to do is, this set list should take us approximately a half hour or so. And then afterwards, if everybody is game, we may try to do an additional game on top of that called Phrases, where we would be asking for people in the chat to give us different phrases and then we would use it in a game. And then after that, if we do it, if people are amenable, we would ask them to give us some feedback tonight instead of what I had originally suggested, taking some time and writing it up in an email. If you can't, you have to bail, you don't feel comfortable talking, we can set it up so you can turn your cameras on or at least put your sound on if you want, and we can have a little bit of a back and forth. That would be great. If not, please don't worry about it because you're doing us a huge favor by being here right now. We appreciate the hell out of it. I believe that is sort of the housekeeping situation that's going on here. So to that point, we are the Regicides. I am Matt Gaffney, and the other Regicides are going to introduce themselves to you now.
I'm Andrew Elliott. That's all I have to say.
I'm Ryan Gardner.
I'm Frankie.
Oh,
I'm Ruben. Hi.
Hi, I'm Lou.
Hi, I'm Jess. Thank you, Ryan.
Awesome. So I think for the first ask, again, everything that we'll be asking for you, if you could get on the chat and throw some of these suggestions up. We're going to be taking one of these suggestions and starting to build an environment of sorts, which we will be hopefully picking from throughout the course of the show. So we're combining a little bit of long form into what we typically do of the short form. To that end, what is your very first family vacation memory that you have? Please throw those things up into the chat if you would.
That got to fill that. You got to fill that
Yes,
chat up.
Jesse.
Oh, here we go.
Don't be shy.
Studio.
Throwing up salt water.
Oh my God, Charlie.
Oh no.
Whoa.
Oh.
Dolphin on the beach. Dark. Dark.
Amazing.
Oh, yes.
All right, we are in a hotel room in the bathroom, and it is very bright. All of the lights are on, and the fan is going. It's filled with all of the shampoos are out on the tub.
Who's next?
Right.
Ah, it's me. The floor is tiled, but it was done in what appears to be the 19 like 10s. And they're just so worn down. They were black and white at one point. Interesting.
You don't usually see a clawfoot tub in a hotel room, but this hotel bathroom has a clawfoot tub, and it's not as luxurious as one might hope. It's actually pretty gross, permanently stained, scratched up, and you know they cleaned it, or at least they tried, but it doesn't really shine and sparkle the way you hope.
It's a double sink vanity with ceiling to vanity mirror. You see way too much of yourself.
And in the ceiling, it has one of those awesome hybrid ceiling fan, bathroom exhaust vents, light, and heat lamp. Love that shit.
And next to the toilet, there's this little window. Kind of like you imagine like a sort of film noir sort of smoking window, like if you're sort of like need to be alone for a minute in a bathroom and you kind of it's only so big. You can't really fit very much out of the window. It's a very small window, but you can crack it open and smoke a cigarette out of.
For some reason, either as a joke or a mistake, in this particular room, the quarter that you put into the slot near the bed actually makes the toilet shake and not the bed.
All right, the research has come back, everybody. We've got a problem with our new model. The thing is that it's too bright white, and nobody knows how to clean this tub. It's going to show every single stain. We got to fix this. It's never going to work.
Okay. Hi, Kathy from the art department. So I'm thinking we do like a speckle wash, kind of like a Jackson Pollock theme. I think that'll really push it towards keeping it looking clean, even when it's dirty. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. We just got to stay away from browns. Brown tested poorly. I think that's a pretty good idea. Like hide it like the floor on a subway car.
Yeah,
Can't see any
totally.
of that.
Maybe some red. I mean, I don't know what's going to be going on in this tub. So I think red maybe, I don't know if that'll throw people off, but
Yeah,
could be kind
I
of
feel
bright, cheery.
I feel like red might get us the murderer market share.
Hold on.
Black.
I
It's
think
black.
I also think we have an idea.
Ruben, what you got?
We can just choose your own theme kind of tub. Do you want a murder looking tub? Do you want, crap in your pants kind of tub? You can choose your own adventure kind of not white tub.
That's
So,
like those
a
credit
question.
cards that you can get whatever picture you want put on them. I like it. I love it. Yes. Yeah.
Now, are we going to end up having theme rooms if we do that, or are we just going to have these interchangeable tubs? I just feel it's going to become quite expensive if we have to swap out the tub for every guest.
No, what it is it's like the skin you put on your iPhone or whatever. Like you order it, you bring it up to your room when you check into the hotel. You lay it down yourself, or better yet, you upload it and it's ready for you along with the mint on the pillow.
Or, and hear me out, it's just black.
Like the whole tub.
The whole tub, black.
It's dark. I like it.
It's black. I like it.
It's like sensory deprivation tank. Let's get the whole room black.
That might be too much.
I'm down with it.
I mean,
Well, if he's down, I'm down.
All right.
I feel like we would save a lot of time on labor. If it's one color, it's just one color. We don't have to match anything. We don't have to make it look a certain thematic situation. It's just black on black on black on black on black.
Yeah, then we don't have to clean the tub. We don't have to clean the sinks. We just fire all of the maids.
Can't see pubic hair on the floor or in the tub.
What old people? You could really pick out those old pubes.
And the blondes and the gingers.
Yeah, all right. I was thinking about just me, as usual. Sorry,
All right,
guys.
well, maybe we should keep the maids just to sweep up the pubes. I wonder if we could turn that into an ad campaign of how generous we are, keeping the pube sweepers. Yeah, we could spin that. All right.
Black and pubeless.
Black. We got a slogan. Let's do it.
Black and pubeless.
I'm gonna
right.
register that domain name.
That's
It's
good.
taken.
That's my
Jesus,
union
it's
call. I
taken.
got to take 15-20 now. Okay.
Yeah, take your 15 or 20.
Maybe 30.
Goodbye.
I was using one of the tubs and I'm getting kind of old, so I got to go clean it up. Sorry.
Yeah, sometimes it's difficult. I just have so much going on. I can't always be bothered to press the correct button. Now, Mr. Jardner, is it? Yes.
Oh, sorry, my sound. Oh, God.
Oh, excellent. I didn't realize you were in the music business. This is very exciting.
Is that better? Can you hear me?
Ah, clear as a bell. Yes, thank you so much. Now, Mr. Jardner, for interests of security, I'm going to have to ask you to turn around for the count of 10. I just need to make sure that you don't have anybody standing behind you.
Oh, no.
Yes, that's great. Thank you. Thank you so much. Now there you go. Now if you could fully turn your back away from the camera for just 1 minute. I really just need you to stay turned around. That's excellent, sir. Thank you very much. Now, please, that's a honey of a sweater that you have on. You come highly recommended to us. I have to say, I have been looking forward to this meeting for some time.
Well, me too. I'm really excited to be here meeting with you today. I got to be honest, this is a bit of a milestone in my life.
Oh, well, I'm glad, and hopefully we'll be able to be there for you and many more milestones yet to come. This is a growth industry, you understand.
Growth, of course. Yeah, that's what I'm all about. You know, trying to grow stuff, trying to keep the growth going.
Oh,
I'm like a walking bag of photosynthesis.
that's fantastic. You know, we do pride ourselves on our organic approach to things. We have a very natural way that we go about our particular line of work, and it seems like you already have a foot into that door.
Yeah,
Now, I see here on your resume that you've worked on several farms before. Is that correct?
yeah, several farms. I worked on a hog farm. Grew up on a hog farm, and then I transitioned over in high school. Um, we grew a lot of wheat and a lot of corn.
Well, that is some coincidence because unless I miss my guess, you very likely will be coming into contact with several of these things in this line of work.
Oh, good. Well, I know something about it then. Good,
Yes,
good. Yeah.
absolutely. And we rely on the people that work for us to identify some of these things. And again, in our organic mindset, we have a way to help the people that are contributing to our workplace environment.
Oh, good. I like to be a team player. I like to
Well,
be a team player.
you're certainly going to be a part of a much larger team in this. Now, would you say that you
The
have
Lion team.
I have several things that I need to ask you, Mr. Gardner, before we can complete the paperwork and actually sign you on to the team.
Mhm.
Would you say that you vomit easily?
Uh, no. I mean, no. I don't vomit easily. I have a pretty strong stomach. You know, almost ironclad. There are a few things that get me. Shellfish.
Hmm.
Can't do shellfish. Yeah.
Well,
And
that's fair. We're inland. I don't expect that should be too much of a problem.
okay.
Now, would you say that you have the ability to hold your mouth open for half an hour at a stretch?
Shouldn't be a problem.
Excellent.
Mhm.
This is good. This is why you came highly recommended to me. Now, before you ask, I just want you to know we are going to supply you completely with every personal protective piece of equipment that you would need, unlimited gloves, and I don't mean the shitty nitro ones that fade away, any sort of eye protection you need. And we have a very nice selection of incense, deodorant, and breath sprays.
Oh, great. Great. I mean, I usually come with my own kit.
Oh,
You know, I have
that's
my own kind of
fantastic.
thing I like to bring. But I will gladly just supplement what you have with what I bring. So
That's great.
yeah,
Now, I know some people like to talk down about this, and I'm not going to sugarcoat this for you.
yeah,
Sometimes this can be a bit of a shitty job, and sometimes people may get pissed off at you, but you just have to be able to rise above it.
yeah, yeah, I can do it. I can do it. Now, just I assume there's going to be some occupational hazards that come along with this, and just wondering how the benefits are. You know, do I have full medical, full dental?
Oh, absolutely. You have everything that you're going to need. And we have an excellent battery of tests that we will conduct on you at least once a week. We have to make sure that you're not carrying anything infectious that, well, could spoil the product more, could
Good.
spoil the product more. It comes in not in good shape.
So I'll be specimen collecting at
Well, I
some
mean, what
respect.
you do on your own time is certainly no business of mine. We're not asking you to actually collect and save so much as move through the system, help filter out some of the impurities, and by virtue of that, make the world a nicer, cleaner place.
Sure. Okay. Like a bottom feeder?
Well, that's, I mean, not how I would look at it. I like to think that we're just at the top of another food chain.
Right.
Oh, and we have some very nice galoshes that you can pick out for yourself, several different colors, and they are completely watertight.
think that I'm second guessing the job. I just got to say, I'm second guessing it.
Not a problem. I just want to dispel any of the myths that you might have. It's not like these shitty movies from the 80s. We're not going to send you any place where some alligator is going to come up and eat you. There is probably very few to none of the cannibalistic humanoid underground dwellers. They're not going to get you either. And if you happen to see any turtles, very likely they're not going to be asking for pizza.
Oh yeah. Okay. Yeah. So I don't shy away from dark places. I don't shy
Excellent.
away from cleaning what needs to be cleaned.
I'm glad to hear it.
Underground, honestly, I feel safer.
That's-
underground.
I mean, we have both. We have a facility that is wholly encased underground, and we have one that is a little bit up closer to the surface. It gets a nice cross breeze from the air. Some of the neighbors do complain about the smell, but that's fine. We're doing them a service. We're taking care of all of their shit.
So yeah, so I don't mind cleaning the honey bucket. I don't mind cleaning the honey bucket, or the John, or anything really. I have a rather strong stomach. Like I said, shellfish, but I think I should be right for this job.
Excellent. I am happy to offer you this job here, as you got close enough, sir. One of our sewage treatment plant operators. I am happy to welcome you aboard.
Wait a second. Can you put that up to the screen?
We'll send the paperwork over to you, and that's okay. And now that you are semi-officially hired, I would just like to say that on the record, sex with me is like a pair of galoshes. You're gonna fill both of them up.
Sex with me is like a pair of galoshes. It's gonna get a little squeaky.
Sex with me is like a pair of galoshes. You're going to need to wear them to step through the mess.
Sex with me is like a pair of galoshes. You always bring protection.
You muted.
Sex with me is like a pair of galoshes. You could fit 2 feet in.
Sex with me is like a pair of galoshes. Good for about 3 or 4 years, and then you want a new pair.
Sex with me is like a hog farm. There is a lot of squealing that's going to happen.
Okay. I have one, but it's too dark. You can also control the screen too.
Sex with me is like a hog farm. Sure, it's a lot of fun in the moment, but you're not going to want to tell your friends about it. Sex with me is like a hog farm. There's not enough money in the world to get into it.
Sex with me is like a hog farm. It smells like shit.
Sex with me is like a hug.
Sex with me is like a hog farm. You're gonna get slaughtered, baby.
Sex with me is like a hog farm. It's more common in the Midwest. Sex with me is like a hog farm. Creates more methane than you could imagine.
Sex with me is like a hog farm. There's a whole lot of meat involved.
Sex with me is like a hog farm. Definitely not kosher.
All right, and sex with me is like a game of genres. Everybody's got to shut the fuck up and do what I say.
Sex with me is like genres. We're gonna do it in black and white.
So to that end,
I finally got black and white. Damn it.
as the technologies are failing me in the chat, if people could start throwing up some genres that they enjoy seeing, and we will play a game called Genres, wherein we're jumping in and out of the suggestions that you give us. Ms. Mack.
Everybody out there on the Regicides, put on your cameras. We can see your faces.
All of you.
Nice. So we're getting some sweet suggestions. Awesome.
Full disclosure, I'm here too.
Oh my God. So in this game of genres, we are going to start out just a normal day, real life, no genre, whereby a somewhat innocent but completely unsuspecting woman suddenly finds a large bearded man behind her, vanishes, and she wonders, who was this man? Where did he go? And why is there suddenly a bag of half-eaten donuts on the floor? When suddenly someone runs up with the other half of these donuts.
The other half of donuts. It's amazing.
I just found him in the parking lot, but I mean, if you need
You know,
them,
you please, you could. It was a baker's dozen. I had an extra.
Oh,
You could keep the other 6.
thanks. That's really
Gosh.
nice of you.
Yeah, I'm Duncan. I think I've seen you around.
Oh yeah, definitely. I'm around. I'm definitely around. Have you seen like there's a bearded guy?
Yeah.
Like you have a beard, but like another bearded guy that's been here. I feel like maybe he's following me, but I also feel like maybe I should take more medication. So could you just look behind me? I'm gonna can you just look and is he there? He feels like he's there.
He's right here.
Freeze, or blank your screens if you would. We are going to leap across town, and we're going to find a couple of detectives caught up in an investigation, trying to figure out who the bearded man is and why he's leaving a trail of half-eaten donut bags on one hand and a trail of bodies in the other. And we're seeing this in the style of a true crime movie or show.
All right. We got donuts all over the city. Half-eaten donuts littering all the gutters. What are you hearing on the street?
Well, I'll tell you this much. Whoever's been leaving these donuts, we've got rodents coming from all over the place, eating them up. So following the trail of crumbs has been hard.
Sanitation workers are gonna strike, I'm sure. We gotta get this thing under control. You gotta speak up, son.
I said, damn right.
Goddamn right.
Well, what kind of charges do you think we're going to pursue when we find this donut lever?
Loitering? They gotta stand around to eat them donuts, right?
It's definitely littering.
Littering and
Loitering, probably, because
yeah. I mean,
you
I
know.
think we've
How long was he there?
yeah. We'll have to.
Was he there after hours when it's
You know what?
not
Send the
allowed to
donuts
be
to the
there?
lab. The lab could tell us how
Oh.
long they were there. We'll get this
right.
thing. All right, we seen them up on 10th Street, 11th Street, by the Dunkin' Donuts, between 10th Street and 11th Street, and on almost all the way up to 12th Street. Yeah, the Dunkin' Donuts on 12th Street. Eddie's Donuts on 13th Street.
They've got to be
That one was a
between-
surprise.
Go ahead,
Freeze.
please.
And blank your screen, please. We are going to jump a little bit here to the lab where these donuts are being taken to be investigated, and something very interesting has been found out. These donuts all contain one very similar but surprising ingredient that the lab technician was not expecting to find. And we're going to see this in the style of a documentary.
I am. Hello, and welcome to the first time we are going to be seeing the secret within the donuts. As you can see to my left, or my right, we have the donut that was left here. Investigators decided to use technology to find what was deep inside the donut and why it was making the bearded man go crazy. Now, we've all heard about the bearded man. He's in all the myths and legends from Norway and Finland, also Spain, maybe even Madagascar. What we don't know is how the bearded man put the stuff in these donuts.
Freeze and blank your screen. We are going to go back to the detectives, and we're going to find out something very interesting. They did not start off as detectives or even in the judicial or police field. They used to be in a band together, and by some happenstance, they ended up working together as investigative detectives. But we're going to find out what brought them into this field in the first place in the style of a VH1 documentary, Behind the Music.
Well, I don't know. It all started really falling apart when they wouldn't keep doing the British accents. How are you gonna be a punk band if you're not doing British accents? Oh, wankers. Muted.
What she's trying to say is we always wanted to be in rock and roll. We always wanted to be rockers.
You can't just wear the hats. They always wanted to wear these hats. I told them you gotta
We
spend
wanted
time
to be
practicing.
British. Hats were our thing, man. We weren't British. We clearly weren't British. But you know what we were? Hat owners. And he just couldn't understand that. And he couldn't accept it. He couldn't accept it.
This hats versus British thing really started boiling up around the time we were about to do our first show. And It just seemed like it was going to be troubled times for hats over Britain.
Freeze and blank your screens. We're going to see a trap that is being laid for the bearded man with his donuts and his bodies. And we're going to see this being laid, oddly enough, in the style of a yoga meditation video.
Oh no. Hi, everyone. How are you all doing? Take inventory of how you're feeling. Breathe in. Now breathe out. Laying traps require a certain amount of concentration and tranquility that can only be achieved through strongly grounded meditation. As you take those breaths, lay out the donuts on the ground. Those donuts should lead that bearded man to the trap.
Freeze and blank your videos. And we are going to see the culmination of this epic, and I do mean epic piece of storytelling that you've been witnessing. It's the denouement, Beardo, the donuts, the detectives, everything comes together in this final scene in the style of a musical.
Damn you fucking rats! You caught me in this trap. I had all time with donuts. I killed and I did all the things because I'm crazy. Let me out. Let me out right now. Let me out. Let me out. Let me out right now.
No! We don't let out criminals. Criminals belong locked up. So you stay where you are, Mr. Criminal, with your beard and your donuts. And your frown, it makes me happy. It makes me happy. It makes me happy to see you frown.
And for that, I'm down.
I'll keep a smile
Say
on my
you.
face. I'll keep a smile on my face.
We'll keep it off of you.
For all the blood I have shed.
Don't
We'll
smile.
lock you up for it.
For your donuts that you're eating right now, officers.
No donuts. No donuts. Please, no donuts.
Dead.
And what they didn't know was that donuts was my weakness. I didn't want to admit it because I knew they'd take me off the case. I didn't want to admit it because I just loved my donuts, but I also loved my job, and so I didn't want to let it go. Oh, donuts! Oh, donuts! I love you, donuts.
And they love you.
Oh, donuts!
Take a bite.
And that, as they say, is a little bumpy, a little rocky, but a show nonetheless. Thank you very much for showing up and helping us out with this. We certainly had fun. I hope that you all did too. Why not? Throw it up in the chat if you liked it, and if you didn't, you can keep it to yourselves. We don't really need to know. We're sensitive artists types.
Positive criticism only.
It is creeping on. So if people are willing, I'd like to jump into just trying to chat with the people that were watching instead of trying to play another game, just to get some immediate feedback. And then
Agreed.
we'll try to do this again in a couple of weeks if people are down to play in the audience again, and we'll certainly take some of these things forward.
Oh, look at
So,
yeah.
Mr. Gardner,
people. Why can't we see them? Can we see them, please?
I think Ryan's working on it.
I'm working on it.
There's that bearded man. It's that
Bearded
guy with the donuts.
Get that guy.
Waiting for him.
I thought I was the guy. I don't understand.
I have a question for Mr. Gardner regarding feedback.
Yeah. No, yeah, that was on purpose.
Are you
No,
talking
no,
like
a real question?
audio feedback or?
Yeah, I was gonna ask if it was hard for him. He had 2 different lags.
Oh.
And he was in the scene with you when I was here, and you had 2 different lags, and I was wondering if that was hard for you, if it would be easier to cover one of the screens temporarily.
Are you talking to me?
Yeah. Just whatever. I didn't know if it was, for me, when I was sitting and I could see both screens, that would have been a distraction. So I don't know if that would help you or not.
This lovely lady.
That's what I got.
Oh, I'm
Cool.
saying this. Better to see everyone Brady Bunch style more often.
Yeah, that's cool. Definitely good to know. So yeah, I mean, you could throw it in the chat if you want to unmute. Let us know. We can have you unmute. If you want to throw your camera on, you can, or you can just talk in the chat, whatever is easiest and most comfortable.
Hi, Charlie.
Hey, Charlie.
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 Hello, my babies.
Hell yeah.
Charlie.
Grizz, what's going on?
What you got, Charlie? Jesse.
Hey. Olive
Oh,
is
and
here.
company.
She's rubbing my shoulders. That's why she's behind me. And then this is her
nice.
piranha. Where did Rana go? Over here. Oh, we're in a cuddle puddle right now. So
Cuddle puddles.
there was lots of giggling, lots of laughing. We had a really great time. There was a couple times where you guys were obviously just working out some kinks, and that is fine. You're working out some technical kinks. And then the first game with the scene setting, I think for me, having even played that game, I was still I was confused. Like, I think you guys, we didn't know what was happening, right?
Which one was that?
When they were setting the scene in the hotel, like we didn't know what the game was, right?
Yeah.
So maybe if you explain that game, I think that's the only feedback I had.
Cool. Yeah, that's
But
awesome.
yeah, we had a lot of fun.
Cool. Thank you, Jesse.
Thanks, Jess.
That's great.
Jess.
Appreciate
Yeah,
it.
of course. Love you guys. Miss you.
So gallery view definitely could be a useful thing. How did people feel about the chat? That's a good point, Eric. A little more movement around might be more interesting.
Chat worked. I thought it was good. This is Kate.
Nice, Kate. Awesome. Thank you. Was it difficult? We didn't do it too much, but throwing the suggestion or the ask in the chat up during the other game, was that too much of a?
No, I thought it was great and it flowed really well. And I don't know, for us at least, it wasn't distracting to come up with ideas and watch. It worked really well.
Okay, awesome. Cool. That's really good to know, because that was one of the things that I was a little concerned about, just not knowing how it might pull away or not from the thing. But if that's okay.
One of the people here said it was a little distracting but we were also watching on our phone, so it's probably different when I have to like change into the whole screen to chat. But yeah, that's our feedback.
Something we did, we bumped it up to our TV. So we were able to have the laptop and it projected up onto the TV, which made it a lot easier. So I don't know if that's something that you can encourage people to do ahead of time, or, just throw the suggestion out there so that maybe makes it a little smoother.
Yeah, absolutely. Lou?
For Jesse and the group, when you guys were watching it on, I think multiple phones, were you seeing it all at the same time, or was it a little different? How it came? Was there any lag?
we were on one phone. I just pulled up my phone because we were being lazy. So I just had my phone up. And so when I had to put in the chat, I would grab the phone. And so we were distracted because we didn't have the visual still going. There were some lags, but my phone was lagging today in general. So I don't know if I speak for everyone, but there were definitely some lags and drags, but it could have been me.
Charlie, what was your comment about slating the games? That's slating or stating?
Slating, yeah, just agreeing with like saying what the game is, especially like for folks that are going to be new to
Right.
seeing shows.
Okay.
The Sex with Me one was really clear because it is exactly what it is. So that sort of explains itself. But I do think the rest, yeah.
Yeah, that worked as a really good transition. I agree.
Yeah, it was a fun transition.
Cool. Super awesome. Cool. Anybody else on the team have any questions or things that you might have been concerned about or were wondering how it played or not?
Yeah, it was tough for me just to get the feel of the audience. I mean, I guess I'm usually used to being in the stack in general, but it's weird not to be able to hear anything. It definitely feels like a disconnect. I'm sure like you guys have been working on Zoom for a while, can feel that. But
yeah, and obviously just as sort of a disclaimer, I think this is probably obvious, but the reason that we chose this format for this is that any audio thing on Zoom is difficult. Once you have two people talking, we can't pick it up. So if we saw and heard the audience, we wouldn't be able to get through the scene because it would just kind of keep cutting in and out. And we knew that there was going to be a little bit of a disconnect for us. How did that feel? I mean, it seems like generally you all didn't have a problem kind of watching in the confines of your home, presumably maybe more fun with one other person. Yes, no, maybe so.
We really enjoyed it. I think that we just were laughing on our own and you guys being confident, even though you can't hear us, like, and just pretending like you can was really great. You just kind of kept going and when you're funny. So we just trust that we're laughing on the other side. There was a couple times where, cause I'm used to playing with you guys, I love when you're funny. I love like throwing up reactions in Zoom and like clapping and laughing and like throwing up reactions so that I can express it and you guys can get that feedback immediately. So that was the only loss, was like not being able to like click a button and being like, we're dying laughing, but theoretically people could do that in the chat, I guess, be like, this is amazing. And you couldn't, if you really want that feedback, I don't know if it would be distracting for you guys as players, but you could say like, hey, you're welcome to, throw reactions in the chat, like emojis or whatever.
Yeah.
But I don't know if that's distracting or not, but it's just a thought.
It's a good point.
I have a question about something that I think both Jesse and Charlie said. Maybe other people said it. Maybe they didn't even say it. But I know you're talking about slating. Oh, like my brows. You're talking about slating games before the games. So do you mean like, do you think it's necessary to have them be slated in between games, or do you think like if we explained it all very clearly up front, that would work, that would suffice? Because I know the idea is like to have this flow and like keep it in a long form sort of thing. I'm just wondering if there's like an in between. I agree that there needs to be some more context. I can totally see that from your end. But would that help if we kind of just said what the games were at the beginning and then like we're free to just like flow through them?
I wonder if we can kind of like work that into like an intro into the game that's part of the game, like in the marketing meeting sort of thing of like, setting the scene within the context of that meeting, or like for genres, like I know that we played with kind of a like, YouTube review sort of thing or whatever, but like if we can figure out just a construct to put that in that we can, basically state the game within the game. If that makes sense.
Yeah, I mean, certainly something we can play with a little bit. What and then what and then what? Thank you, Charlie.